Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Cahill and welcome back to my channel. I am not bothered to work, to write, to do anything, and it's really getting on my nerves. I can't continue going on like this. I need to physically get some actual work done. I am going to try a new productivity method, the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 method. I saw this post on Instagram. It is originally from an ADHD Reddit thread. This is the post here. Basically what you do is you focus on your project for 50 minutes and then take a 10-minute break, and then go back and do 40 minutes, 10-minute break, and so on and so forth through 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and 10 minutes. And then after that, you've done about 2.5 hours worth of work in a 3-hour window. The problem I'm having currently at the moment, even with general writing, apart from the fact that starting the physical writing is not going so well at the moment, because I'll sit there and think, I should get this done, and continue to think I should get this done and then just not do it, is when I'm in the sprint, physically focusing for that long on my project has gotten difficult, to the point where I can feel myself drifting off and losing my attention. I have a different experiment and plan for that in the future. I want to get this done first. With each 10-minute break, I'm going to do something creative, as opposed to what I would normally do, which is hop onto YouTube and watch a video or something, or go on my phone and start scrolling, because that's gonna, I don't know, zap the motivation out of me, I guess, because I'll get stuck. I'm gonna read a book. I guess read through what I've already written on my work, or where I need to go to next, or read my notes that I have for the rewrites. I can, do a little bit in my reverse colouring book, get some more tea, because obviously British tea. I'll get some lunch at some point as well, I don't want to forget about that. And hopefully by completely not doing technology, that will help that will help maintain my motivation to get through this. Fingers crossed. I'm not gonna babble and dawdle like I usually do. We're gonna get straight into it. I need to set up my Focus To Do app to 50 minutes, and then we're basically gonna get started. Okay, we have my tea, the book I'm going to read, The Last Fallen Star. We have my notes I'm going to be working on, Of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things. That is my book that I'm working on, that I'm focusing on instead of going everywhere. And then my reverse colouring book, all ready and set out in order for me to get some creative work done. And let us begin. So the 50-minute sprint is done. I am on my 10-minute break at the moment. I have to say, it didn't feel like I was writing for 50 minutes, which, despite the fact I didn't want to start, is really good that I'm coming out of it feeling that I haven't been dragging my feet, that it hasn't taken 5 billion years for this timer to finish and for me to get my work done. I have almost finished, bar a couple of sentences, which I'm really annoyed about, actually, that I couldn't get it done in time. The scene that I'm currently working on, which means I can then, with this next 40-minute sprint, head immediately to the next scene. The next scene is going to be a little bit difficult because it is a brand new scene. I haven't planned it at all whatsoever. I've got some notes in the synopsis for it. Apart from that, I'm on my own. So as much as I would love to get the scene done in 40 minutes, I feel like I'm not going to be able to. And I've also just realised I shouldn't talk too much during these 10-minute breaks, because then that will waste my entire 10-minute break. So we're looking good, we're feeling good. I'm getting my work done. It doesn't feel like a chore like I feared that the writing would. We need more tea. I'm gonna make my lunch hopefully in this next 10 minutes. I probably will have to eat while I write though, which I don't want to do, but I'm going to. So far though, we're good. Also, I don't know what my keyboard is doing at the moment, but every time I want to go home or end to the beginning or end of a sentence, it just, I don't know if you can see that well. It's just putting the entire Scrivener left or right, and I don't understand why that's happening. So I might have to also, while I'm cooking lunch, figure out what has happened to my keyboard settings in order for it to do that, because having to the beginning and end of sentences when I'm putting all my paragraphs together is wasting my time, and I do not enjoy it. We have a bacon and brie focaccia roll, which I tried to cut in half to make it easier to eat, but failed miserably. We have some strawberries and cream because hey, it's September, but here in England for some reason it is summer still. And late back for my timer. We're just gonna get right into it because whoops. Okay, we have done sprints 50, 40, and we have just finished sprint 30. I'm on my third, I think now, 10-minute break. It's going okay. It's not too bad. I think some of this disinterest I'm feeling is the fact that it's hot and I don't like the heat, but we're making good progress, and I still haven't felt that massive urge to, let me just be on my phone, let me just do this for a minute, or get up and do something instead of completing the sprint like I'm supposed to complete the sprint. I have stayed firmly in my seat. I have been writing, even with the I don't want to do this anymore in the back of my head. I just move on to a different sentence and we're good. We're good. I am 1,292 words into the new scene that I'm doing. It is, I want to say, 60% finished, which is not too bad. Keeping in mind it does not have to be perfect because it is just it's not a first draft. Okay, well, the scene is a first draft of this specific scene, but it's not within the first draft of Stars and Smoke and Other Intangible Things. It is within draft 2. But technically it is actually draft 1 of the scene. So I don't have the motivation to make it perfect, really, but I don't also feel the need to make it perfect, and I think that is also helping me stay focused enough to write it. So yay for that. I just have 2 more sprints to go, the 20 minutes and the 10 minutes. That's only 30 more minutes of writing. I can do that. We can do this.
You like it? You like it? Did you? No, I hated it. I hated it. Me too. Come on. Let's go to our cousin.
There's a little bit of an urge to just keep on writing, actually. which I really do appreciate, but I am going to take my break seriously and I'm gonna stop myself from doing so. I'm gonna read a little bit more of The Last Fallen Star. I can't tell you anything about how I'm enjoying this book because I have literally only read like the first 6 pages, if that. But yeah, it's interesting so far. It's got a very interesting premise, which I like. So I'm going to read some of this, and then after the next 5 minutes, because I've been dawdling, I need to get some tea that I can read and make tea at the same time. It's fine. I'm British, we can do that. And then after that, we'll get on to the 10 minutes and see how that goes. And we are done. 2.5 hours work in 3 hours. And you know what? I don't actually feel like I've spent 2.5 hours writing. It doesn't feel like it has been that long at all. I don't feel drained. I don't feel like it was a chore to do. When I finished, I felt, you know what? No, I want to continue doing what I'm doing. But then I had to worry about the kids, and that was about an hour ago now. And now I don't want to write because the kids have worn me out. But coming straight off of that, I still had that motivation to do more work, which is weird, but in a good way. I said earlier that the 50-minute sprint didn't feel like 50 minutes at all whatsoever. And I still feel like it didn't feel like 50 minutes, but then it also felt like the 10-minute sprint was way too short. Editing Sarah here to explain something a little bit better than I did in the video. Going from 50-minute sprints down to 10-minute sprints sort of helped keep my focus, because every single sprint was a different length of time, and because it was decreasing in time, it helped ease me out of the need to be motivated, and it helped ease me out of the focus and the productivity that I was in a natural way, so that when it came time to have a long break, I wasn't feeling too overworked. I wasn't feeling too overwhelmed with everything that I had done, and then I could easily go back into those sprints again at a later point in the day. Doing this long term, I think what I'd do is the entire 3 hours worth of sprints and breaks, and then maybe take a half-hour break, a slightly longer break, and then head back into it and get a good 5 hours worth of work done. And I don't think it'd feel like it'd be 5 hours of my day that I've just spent doing work. So I'm actually really pleased that I tried this method, and I'm even more pleased that it seems to have done a really good job of keeping me motivated and getting me to actually do some work. Not that I tend to actually check my word count anymore, because I correlate my word count to how much work I've done, and that's never a good thing for me. I'm going to check the word count at the moment, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing, but that's for a different reason. I've written 3,220 words over the 2.5 hours, which is a really, really good result with how I've been feeling recently. I have finished 80% of the new scene that I was writing. A little bit more of that to do, and then I can move on to the next scene, which again is another scene that I have not written before, or I have written it but in a different way. There's new plot elements and new conversations I need to include now instead of what I originally had. So it's not quite a new scene, but it is new content within the scene. I'm oh-knowing at my word count because so far in this novel I've written 49,930 words. I'm not anywhere near midpoint yet. I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm 10 scenes away from midpoint and I've already written basically 50,000 words. So I'm extremely scared that this is going to be a much longer draft than draft 1 was, which is really weird because I'm a classic underwriter as opposed to an overwriter. So for me to have so much more word count in a second draft than a first draft, when the basic plot and story is staying the same, I'm just swapping scenes out for different scenes and moving scenes around in the actual plot line. That's really weird. Don't know if it's a bad thing or not yet. That depends entirely on where we end up after we finish the entire novel. But for the purposes of this day and for this experiment, the 50, 40, 30, 21 method has actually really worked well for me, and I'm very much looking forward to doing it again later. Maybe not later, I don't know, we'll see how I feel. It's still really hot. I feel gross. I hate summer in England. It sucks. It's hotter than you think it is. Don't even bother coming at me with that. But I have another day off tomorrow, so maybe I'll do it again tomorrow. Need more tea. Anyway, that is me trying out the 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 productivity method I happened upon through Instagram. Let me know if that is something that you would ever try, or do you have a different way of keeping yourself motivated and productive during your writing day? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Good thoughts and happy writing.